everyone. As usual, we'll take a minute to allow the translators to set up and for people to connect. That's good. All right. And we are live, starting this. Nefesh Galgalim Vishemesh Malkut. I am with whoever will watch the class while I'm streaming. Nefesh Galgalim Vishemesh Malkut. We are together. Yesterday, we had the class of earth and fire in a way that I teach usually in inner circle seminar. The inner circle seminar is a seminar under invitation only, and the conditions to attend is that you followed 6 complete boot camps with me or Shivagam. So 9 days with myself or Shivagam or whoever gives a long boot camp. We also consider if you took classes with the most evolved and present masters of the Mahajriya. Conditions also that you master emotional integration and are autonomous, and that you are a simple person, that you don't like drama, the personal level, that you don't encourage it. We all have our up and down, but in an inner circle seminar, we don't want complicated people. This way, in an inner circle, when we start teaching, consciousness becomes intense so quick because everyone is not resisting the Dharma. The video stream yesterday was not inner circle. It was for everyone. The wisdom I gave about existential arrogance associated against the elements. I got feedback from some students or listeners that it was way too fast or intense. Of course, this is how I start an inner circle. It's fun wisdom, but those who really apply it, those who really reach the core of themselves, it's a big slap in the face. Today's plan was to teach the 3 remaining elements and the arrogance against them. I will see how I feel about that. The first 2 are the most intense. Then arrogance becomes subtle. So I will see. Pay attention inside. Prithvi Boom. Feel the earth, the origin of all things, the manifesting of life, energy, mass, supernatural resources. Prithvi Boom. Just connect and let it happen. Reach a humble state, but don't do a big integration now. Just reach a humble state. Everything I do that is negative against my existence, like, should we be here? What's the point of being alive? Why am I doing this? All of this is arrogance against discovery, curiosity, existing because we can. Just a humble attitude, regard it. And we go into Prithvi Boom to embrace the flow from the origin. Out of vacuity, all appears. The first manifestation, Prithvi Boom. Try to be incarnate and not transcendental. Be here, be present. Now we move to Tejasagni. Be humble. Wishing for others' destruction or just that they disappear. Any denial where someone else is not there, hoping that I avoid suffering, that is not responsible. That is arrogance against fire. Be humble. Be honest with yourself. Yeah, this reflex of just wanting the outside to cease its existence so I don't have to work on myself. That is arrogance against fire. Be humble and admit it. Sometimes it rises. Just be honest with yourself without today doing a deep integration. There's a desire for personal responsibility. Good. Tejasagni. Out of nowhere, this great radiance happens. Out of the earth phenomena, heat, particles, light, energy, also radiation, and the power to affect our environment. Once you have humbly embraced the arrogance about affecting your environment, then you gain the holy power to affect your environment the way that is constructive, positive. Tejasagni, celebrate the great power that you have. Contemplate yourself on fire, the universe on subtle fire. Anything compassionate has great power. It's quite inspiring. Just remember, destructive desires will limit you in your fire, and compassionate attitude will augment your power. Every great saint had mystical powers, and you rarely heard of a black mage that really had influence. Because assholes, the karma piles up and makes them lose the power eventually. Okay? No, Crawley did not have power. He was a curiosity for the uneducated. Nothing to do with Krishna's power or Sakyamuni or Jesus or Zoroaster or Lao-Tzu. Okay, nothing to do. Power. Okay, nothing to do with it. Good. Let's move to Vishwakasha. If someone can type it. Vishwakasha, one who knows. Probably Shivagam should. Usually Akasha is space. In the 5 elements, in the 5 basic elements, we use the words Shiva and Antara. Okay. For the universal elements or existential level of the primordial elements. This practice is called Siddhitattva. I never said it. Siddhitattva, the perfected elements. It's just a Siddhi meditation on the elements, and Siddhitattva means perfecting your state of being regarding the elements. Okay. So in this case, we don't speak of inside, but space, and Vishwakasha is universal. I'm gonna have to take a bit of time on this one. So do a simple swastika, okay? Pay attention inside and relax and be conscious that you're conscious. Take a minute for that. 30 seconds. I'm conscious. State of simplicity in your mind. And incarnate. Be in the body. Do not deny transcendence, whatever pulls you in a higher state, but don't nourish it. Just focus on being here in the body, in this world, in the manifested Malkut. Okay. Good. Vishwakasha. Apparently I cannot type it myself. Did someone type it? Yeah, all right. Vishwakasha. Vishwa means universe or universal. Vishnu is the experience of everything. Vishnu, the experience of. Vishwa is universal. Akasha is space. So just the space of everything. I will re-explain the fact that space itself is only a consequence. When creation happened, there was no empty container in the universe for earth and fire to go and manifest and radiate in. There was no space. When it happened, it took space. So wherever there is consciousness, it occupies an area on all planes. It becomes paradoxal and non-distinct in higher planes, non-locality and stuff like that. But this is not something your mind should complicate itself with. Simply see it in the most simple way. When consciousness happens, it occupies an area. When manifestation happens, it occupies an area. And manifestation, from pure consciousness to dense mass, even dense mass is still consciousness. It stays there, it has persistence, and it is usually latent, not philosophically active. But it's still consciousness, densified. So when mass happened, it made the required space, and the vacuity at the physical plane between instants of mass still has unmanifest consciousness in it. The unmanifest consciousness is uninterrupted. I cannot prove that. Quantum physicists would agree, I cannot prove that. It is subjective. But when you will experience it, it will be obvious. So don't worry about it. Okay? In other words, space is the side effect of the presence. When you feel present, I'm here, the other is there, there is stuff here and there. The presence feeling is space. Without something present, there would be no area for consciousness to be present in. So to the confusing concept, is the third element spirit, heavens, consciousness, or space? It is consciousness, and everything else is a manifestation, a side effect of it. So we would say spirit. In other systems, it's called the fifth element because it is the most subtle. For us, it's the third element, which is the most abstract. Okay, it's not the most subtle because at the dense physical level, it's still the same phenomena, Vishwakasha. Okay. So that's why the fifth element, third element, is called the heavens element. It means the planes, the various planes of consciousness. It means the place of spirit, but also mass. Okay. It's consciousness. And then it manifests, it is explained in all its different ways to have a side effect. Okay. So Vishwakasha, universal space, you contemplate it. Vishwakasha. We'll do the integration in a moment. Now we practice. It will, even if you pay attention only to you, it will make you aware of everything. It will pull you into the whole. And it will make you feel that experience. Consciousness at every level produces the area into which it can experience itself. And it allows you to drop out of the human Cartesian concept that you need a container for your soul. The soul made the container. The whole of the universe consciousness produced the whole of the universe. Good. bit more of non-distinction. This will be fun. Everything that happened in the past, when it happened, it was now. It was the present when it happened, but now is the past. So the past is not real. It was now when it did happen. When something is done, it's not real anymore. So the past is not real. Only the present is. Whatever will happen in the future, when it will happen, it will be now. Therefore, the future is not real. It is potential. It's dreams. It can be false hope. It can be prudent planification, which is very wise, but it is not real. Only now exists. If the past does not exist, it is still a reference to now that is gone. It's a memory, a dream, a potential, a trauma, a nostalgia, or fun times that remain, something that inspires us. The future is also a projection, imagination, possibility. All right. Let's do a parenthesis. If there would be no masculine gender, everything was feminine, we would not use the word feminine to describe a living being. We would just say someone there. We would not call someone a woman if there was no man ever to compare with. If it was the only gender, we would just say a person. The principle of a woman or the feminine exists only because the masculine is there to compensate. The principle of gender would not exist if there were not many to compare to. Therefore, gender would not exist if only one would. If another parenthesis, if everything was made of gas, there would be no rock, no water, no fire, everything was just gas. Then there would be no words for other types of density. We would not have the word rock or water, and therefore we also would not have the word gas. There would be no point in naming something if there's no other types of things to compare to. So if only gas existed, gas would not exist. We would not mention it. Do you understand that? Therefore, if the past does not exist and the future does not exist, only the present exists, therefore it doesn't. Or there is no time, because only now is real. There's no mentioning of it, and therefore it doesn't go forward. Our Cartesian mind has produced rigid structures about managing time in a way that it makes us feel that we're going forward in time. But that is not the truth. The truth is there is no time. Therefore, the present now is not going forward. It is standing still. But everything is always changing. So instead of seeing time as the present going towards the future, try to feel it as now, not moving forward, but being still, intemporal, and everything in constant convection and modulation. Everything is still in terms of time, convecting and transforming in terms of dynamics. Only now is real. Okay? That puts you in a state of non-distinction. It helps. In the same way, that's a complicated class, I understand. In the same way, whatever you experience, you feel yourself here. And whatever you perceive it there. Another person that you perceive to be there, their own personal experience is here for them. Okay? They have a here feeling, and you, in reference to them, you are there. Everyone, we feel ourselves here. And anywhere else than here is called there. And then it's a perception, a reference. That means that every sentient being capable of feeling a sense of locality still feel the same here. And everything else is there. So we have never experienced something else than right here. Simply because you have never been anywhere else than where you are. Even in the expression, oh, I was somewhere else, it's just an expression. You were still here while focusing on something else, but you were still here. So don't use an expression like this to deny the simplest of facts. Here is the only experience you're capable of, and there is separation, projection, references, imagination, planification, interaction, but your experience is here. And when you transmigrate somewhere else, you are not there. When you successfully do a transmigration into a new area, that area is experienced here because now this is where you are. Anywhere you have a local experience, you feel here. So everyone has the same spatial experience. There, everything over there is a result of separation. And you don't really know how it feels like until you go there, and then it becomes here again. Okay? Where is the universe? The answer is super simple. You know where you are in the universe, you are here. But where is the universe? The simple answer is the universe is here. Universal consciousness of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva experiences itself universally as here. Like any other localized individual, resulting from separation from the whole, here is the only experience that is real. Therefore, there does not exist. So, there's no point in mentioning here either. That is the art of non-distinction. However, be honest and humble and admit, I feel here and I feel everyone else there. And you're still a local entity. Okay? So don't get all funky with this non-distinction state of being, that the only thing real is here and now. And because it is the only thing, then it's not worth mentioning it. There's only a state of truth. And everything is here and now, but it always changes. And to the changes that are over and the changes that are to hopefully come, we make references that are still illusions and dreams. Here and now is the only real thing. It is always standing still, but everything is constantly changing. Okay. Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha. Feel the universal space here without your limited locality, and let yourself pull into the greatness, into the immensity, and wherever you are, you'll still experience here. Whatever feeling of oneness you can reach, here and now, in permanent change, is still what you're going to feel. Regardless if you're stuck in your little human or emancipated and expanded. Vishwakasha, universal space. Now, for those who experience themselves as God, because for a moment they have felt at the level of Vishnu. I am the one and only God. Yeah, because while you were in a Vishnu state, you are the universal one, which is also all other beings. It's everything. But when you come back as a simple human, your ego wants to retain this universal feeling. I am the Buddha. And then we think, I am the new Jesus. I'm the Buddha. I'm the one who is worthy of praise. I am the one. But that is not true. That is arrogant. If you have a mature experience at the Vishnu level, you have felt oneness without the limit of your own arrogance. And you will see another as they are the Buddha, they are the Krishna, they are the Vishnu and the Jesus. They are the God of all things. So the masters that come back from this great experience, which is a real experience of oneness and knowing yourself as God, absolute and universal, you come back to yourself, and then because it's your first time, sometimes the only time they have it, you think, I am the single universal God. So you and you and you pray me, bow to me. I am the one God. I'm the savior. I am the solution. So you should pray me. That is immaturity. If you know Vishnu without your local arrogance, you know that they are also the universal God, that Vishnu is everything. Don't fall in that trap when you get it, okay? You still experience it from here. And when I have moments of oneness, they probably happen more frequently than you, but you can have them. When I have moments of oneness, I am still here. And while I live myself there, here is my experience over there. I have to simply admit I'm still in this body, and my body retains locality, and I'm still a small little human, feeling what Vishnu is feeling. But those who have experienced oneness, you will agree, you experience oneness to the limit of what you can imagine as a monk. I was one with the mountains, I was one with the cow and the sun. Okay. Did you feel other galaxies? Did you feel supernovas or no? You felt one so much that for a moment you did not think there is still something beyond what oneness you feel with. So there is still a sense of locality, even though you're so expanded. But I was one with all things. Did you feel people in Sri Lanka right now or Mongolia? Did you feel people climbing the Everest? No. You felt one in a general sense, but your feeling of here, everywhere else, was limited to what you could conceive as a human. Therefore, our oneness is still experienced locally. After living it hundreds of times without counting, you realize those things. I've been once in a state of consciousness like Sakyamuni Buddha, conscious of all other Buddhas in the universe. And I felt that they saw me, they realized me the first time I got the Buddha state. Not everyone who gets the Buddha state will live that, only a few. Later, I felt, ah, there's a new Buddha in this universe. So I was on the other, side of this equation. It was not my first time, but I realized something else in the universe awakened to this universal dynamics. But when we get that, we don't feel planets, we don't feel the hair on anyone's cat, we don't have any precision about any phenomena. It's just Buddha. And then the ego arrogantly says, I felt the entire universe. My God, how obtuse can we be? No, you did not feel Vishnu. You felt the biggest part of Vishnu because of the Buddha state. The biggest part of Vishnu that could enter your minuscule consciousness. The universe is so huge. So just be honest and humble. When you have experiences of oneness, you feel the whole, but you experience it from yourself locally. Just be honest with that. And don't ask people to pray you or bow to you because you're greater. If you have felt Vishnu for real, without the human evidence, you know that they are Vishnu too, without exception. And then the feeling of competition or greatness, it disappears, goes away. Okay? It's a question of repetition and humility. Now, we go to an integration attitude because we will integrate the arrogance that we have as a human that is against Vishwakasha, the universal space. It is ridiculous that we want to be validated. Look at me. Pay attention to me. Do you love me? Am I good enough? Oh, I was not good enough. I've done a bad thing. Will they still love me? It is still ridiculous that our arrogance against the earth would consider not existing. And then our arrogance against fire now wants us to exist, but not someone else. And then the arrogance against consciousness is I exist and the other must exist so we can validate that I exist. the constant need of validation. Every state of arrogance in the five against the five elements contradicts the other manifestation of arrogance because they are incompatible. Because arrogance is in the ego, it is limited to one view at a time, which is okay. So the constant need of validation. Am I important? And basically, do I have a place? Our arrogance against space is our need to take space. Don't get into my bubble. You are invading me, protecting your space, or feeling you don't have a place in your family, in the conversation, at work, in life. But I don't have a place. Or seeking a place in life. What's my purpose? The arrogance we have against the universal space and consciousness. What is my place? And the need to have a place. Although against the earth you would cease to exist. Although against fire you would destroy someone. But now you need them to validate you. It's not paradoxal, it's contradictions in this case. Your quest for a place. You're feeling that you have no purpose. Your space is clear. It is here. But what is my place? It is the place you occupy. And that's it. It is so simple. So your need to have validation and to be given space, to be given a right to talk, all of that is for validation. When you have something to talk, to say, just say it. When you have a role to play, just play it. When you have an action to do, just do it. The need of others' validation or permission is irrelevant. What matters is that you respect others. And if it brings no good for you to act, don't act. But I have no place. Yes, you are here. What must you mourn to be at peace again? Compassion is to say what you can for others so they can grow. For you to take your space, but not someone else's. Just be simple. Let's talk about the roles. God cannot be defined. Therefore, it's not a person. Therefore, God has no specific intentions towards you or another. When you feel, I have a mission, God gave me a mission, that is you feeling without purpose, that is giving yourself an imaginary mission because you need to have a reason to exist. Because you feel so repressed, without a role, without a space of your own, without a purpose, that you feel useless. So you will be a new age hippie riding a unicorn on a rainbow, smoking your rose quartz. God gave me a mission. Listen all, I have a role. Give me that attention now. It is conceptually impossible for God to give you a mission once you have experienced what God is, undefined, without an identity. There's a paradoxical sense of entity in the concept of God, but by itself is undefined. Therefore, has no intention specific to you. There's a global reason for why creation happens. The lamest way to mention it is God was curious, so he made it. But that's limited. Everything happened because it's absolutely wonderful to do it. But then that's a bit dramatic. There's no proper human way to express exactly why everything happened. But once you experience it, it's obvious. If you want to have a purpose, be useful. It is extremely simple. Go and be useful in a way that others accept your help. Don't try to force down someone something they don't want. It's useless. Be useful in a way that your skills and wisdom and services is productive, where someone else will accept it and enjoy it. Then your quest about having a purpose will end. You will just be here doing what is useful. But you have no other purpose than how you contribute to another. And that purpose was not given to you by God in a way to be different and special from someone else. No. That is given by your own creativity, by your efforts, by your level of wisdom. Be useful. It is in the heavens, the feeling that you seek, and it is genetic in your animal. I need to feel productive for the clan. On every plane, we have this. Let's speak of the genetics so we can understand how it somewhat happens on other levels in consciousness. If you're part of a clan and you only abuse, love me, give me, I take all the time the physical resource out of greed, others' attention and love out of greed, the space of others out of greed. You densify inside and you become more and more depressed. Let that out and be productive for the clan. As an animal, if we feel we're not bringing to the clan, we become depressed. When we do not work, we become depressed. Not because it's boring, but because we feel we are not productive. We're not bringing to the clan, to society, basically, what we can. At work, we bring some work, even while there is conflicts at work. Genetically speaking, we are producing something. We're productive. And it answers the need to contribute. And then we gain money and we can buy stuff for the family. And then at the level of the clan, we get another deeper sense of being productive. So we contribute to get the money so we can contribute with the money for others and ourselves as a whole. And genetically, it answers our need to be part of the clan. So when you don't work and you don't earn money, you feel unproductive. And your genetics panic. If I don't contribute, the clan will be at risk. Then you retire, you grow older, and you feel bored because you have nothing to do. But the feeling inside is worthless. I am not contributing anymore. I need to do something. That's a lot of work. The arrogance we have is to invent a purpose given to us by some mystical definition of God, which cannot be accurate. A mission so that I feel special. Because without my mission given by God, I feel worthless. And I will not get attention for being some super spiritual being. You have no mission. Your purpose is the one that you find as a human. Be creative. Find a way. Everyone is one. Everyone has an equal opportunity to accomplish themselves at different levels of competence, because we are each on our own path. But everyone manifested in this locality to accomplish. So do it. It's a lot of work. You need to feel special, important, different from others. Wanting to be special is arrogance against Vishwakasha. You are not special. If you agree with oneness, with equity, with compassion, everyone is potentially wonderful, so you cannot be more wonderful than another. Being special means wanting to be something more than another, therefore separation and competition. It takes humility to accept I will never be special if I want to experience oneness. What must I mourn? Mourn being special. Mourn being important. My space, I have it. It's here. My feeling incarnate here, now, which the only thing real for me, forever convicting. And in oneness, it is the same experience for everyone else. Mourn being special. Deep abandonment. Yeah. But I will not be loved. If it helps you mourn it, just accept no, I will not be loved. Suffer that. Mourn being special, being cared for, having a purpose. Mourn that. And as you gain experience, be useful. And that role will be served. And you will be freed from the need of being special once you finally feel you are contributing. And others, they might even validate you. Hey, thank you for that. There's women now and a few men, but mostly women, it's a social reality, that know how to sew with fabric. And they are sewing masks, face masks, because there's less and less masks. And they go deliver them to the local hospital because their stocks of masks are over, so they're using old masks or spraying disinfectant on mask or tissue. I mean, that's a way right now that people can be useful. They just spend hours doing masks, delivering them. That's just one idea. There's so many ideas that you can constantly find a way to be useful. Do it. Find a way. You can also take this time to enjoy yourself in the sense, I think I could spend an entire month without being useful to anyone. I've been useful a lot in my life, helping so many in various ways. And before distributing the wisdom, I was also doing that. The potential of feeling productive and contributing to the whole, to others. People are having fun upstairs. My feeling is rich. I could spend a long period of time without that feeling, just contemplating I have been useful, and that potential stays. So you can also just isolate, enjoy the resources you have, and if you see the resource go down, be sober and manage in a way to persist longer with your stocks. I forgot the English name for that. Ration. Yeah. You can ration or you can enjoy. I only had one bottle of wine. I drank it yesterday. It's over. I'm going to be okay with that. So, I mean, some people is not even having food. So for us to have luxuries, joy. I will have my time with PlayStation. So okay, I will enjoy now. I also found a way to give the classes, but my motivation is not to feel that I contribute. No. My only motivation is the joy I feel when others get the wisdom. But one day, if I keep isolating, I might again feel useless. So I'll embrace humbly that feeling and I will be motivated by being useful. Again. Good. I hope this hits you in the feels. Those who have a mala, you take it. Those who don't have a mala, you don't. And you just follow. Vishwakasha. 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 Okay, get ready with the mala. Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha. Kasha. Vishwakasha. 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 Vishwakasha, 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 Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha, 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 Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha, 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 Vishwakashi, Vakasha, Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha, 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 sorry. Vishwakasha, 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 Vishwakasha. And then the contemplative and the meditative in this case. Vishwakasha. You focus on here now, but you're not limiting it to your individual. Here, now, universal space. And you let it pull you to where it can, without effort. Do not by force transmigrate into the whole. You're simply here now. Vishwakasha. And it naturally makes you feel universal. And you humbly admit, the less I want to take space by force, the more it naturally happens, because it is the true state of just being here and now, not limited to me, but still here now. Vishwakasha. Vishwakasha. Thank you for your time. There is no class tomorrow, Sunday, 22nd. There is no satsang tonight. I will cut this video now and restart it again for a short comment on another topic. Thank you for your time. I invite you to review Earth, Fire, and Heavens, just to to work on yourself. Practice emotional integration, some Visantara, some Swastika, anything that helps get the pure state of being. Okay.